Hi, this is Clarity Coach Lucy, and welcome to Tuesday Talks at 3. Today's Tuesday Talks at 3 is a topic that is very close to my heart, and it is about our health. Our health as women. And so in this month, we're going to have 4 episodes on this series to be able to touch on the different aspects of health. So for today, we are calling our series the Well Woman Series. Well Woman Series, as we celebrate women in this month of March. It is International Women's Day coming up, and we want to be able to be cognizant of the importance of being healthy. This is a celebration of women's health. This is us figuring out what different aspects should we be looking at. This is us figuring out what do we need to do. So joining me in this series is health coach Fred Gishuki, who will be logging on very shortly, and he will be taking us through managing diabetes. Now, as I talk about health, I am looking at 4 different aspects that we have picked out carefully, intentionally, that we shall be talking about. And the first one is today's episode, which is managing diabetes. And then we have got managing blood pressure. That will be the next one that we will be doing. And many of us have this blood pressure conditions where we are looking at how do we get ourselves out of it. Number one, how did we get into it? My own story of blood pressure is ongoing. And for me, it was brought on by a traumatic incident. And then I also found out that it is in the women in my family. So basically, I was more predisposed to getting blood pressure. But now I am under treatment, but I'm working towards a better way to bring it really down and take it away totally from my life. And I'm sure that when Fred joins us, he'll be able to give us a bit more insight on that. Thirdly, we are looking at managing a healthy gut. Who doesn't want a healthy gut? You know, nowadays we see a lot of the billboards here in Nairobi with the probiotics, and we find that companies are already providing this very important aspect into our lives so that we have healthy guts, introducing these enzymes into our bodies that will help us to manage our guts. Because as we eat, we are introducing foreign things into our bodies, these radicals into our bodies that affect us. And as women, while we age, our system slows down. So we want to be able to know how to fight this, how to be able to bring it on to that point where we are managing it. So it's going to be about a healthy gut. And then the last one is going to be about managing healthy skin. Now, who does not want healthy skin? We all want healthy skin. So just being able to be here and talk about our health is very, very important. So welcome once again. And I can see that Fred has joined us. Just bringing him onto the screen. Comes out, you know. Diabetes is a disease in which blood sugar or glucose levels in your body are high. So diabetes can cause serious health problems, including heart attacks or a stroke, including kidney problems, blindness. You can have problems during pregnancy as women also. And one of the things that when I was doing my research is I realized that weight is a contributing risk factor to diabetes. And research shows that this is a top reason for type 2 diabetes. And I can see that Fred is here on the screen. A very good afternoon to you, Fred. Great to see you right there.
Thank you. Good to see you, Lucy. Glad to be here.
Yes, and we hear you loud and clear.
Thank you. Also very clear.
Yeah, so as I mentioned to the audience just now, Fred, you are a health coach. And this month we are celebrating women's health. And therefore our series is aptly named the Well Woman Series. And we picked 4 specific topics to talk about in each Tuesday. Today's topic is about managing diabetes. So, Fred, why should we know about managing diabetes for women?
Well, diabetes has proved to be a very serious problem for many women. It has affected many people's lives negatively, and in some cases, it's been very fatal. In the extreme cases of diabetes, you find that people lose limbs, their limbs are chopped off. Ladies give birth to children with diabetes. With gestational diabetes, which can be a challenge. And largely diabetes, especially type 2 diabetes, the bigger fraction of people who are diabetic is largely due to situations or circumstances which are within their control to manage. And that's why today we're saying that we need to just have this conversation to help people not get diabetes in the first place, but for those who have diabetes to be able to manage it and live a healthy and productive life. So it's really critical, especially for the ladies, because they are the ones who run the family. They are the managers. They're the ones who control what people eat. And largely the lifestyle that is lived in the family is as a result of the ladies. So that's why it's important to really have this conversation and see how can we be able to manage diabetes and prevent it as well.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for that. I was reading that as per WHO, the prevalence of diabetes in Kenya is at 3.3%. That is high. That is high. And by 2025, we'll be looking at 4.5%. That is super high. And so this conversation is very timely. And just as you have said, women are the managers in homes, and therefore there needs to be an intentional lifestyle to work around that, to be able to know what people are eating, and I guess also what people are exercising, doing, their mindsets, yeah? So it is due to an unawareness that these statistics are high, and this is scary. So I'm hoping that this episode today is going to give the much needed awareness, enough for us to take action. What are your thoughts, Fred?
Yes, actually, today I isolated two things that actually precipitate diabetes and can help us in managing it. We look at diet, and we also look at lifestyle. And when I look at those two things, if I can start with the lifestyle encompasses so many things, but largely speaking, do you exercise? Exercise helps in ensuring that your body functions better, that you're healthy, and that you're able to avoid so many lifestyle diseases. Do you rest enough? Are you sleeping your 6 to 7 hours in a day? Do you get high quality sleep? Or are you spending your time doing the chores and everything? As you know, women take care of everybody and they're the last ones to go to bed and the first ones to wake up in the morning. And that takes a toll on their bodies, and that can lead to diabetes. But the most serious thing as far as lifestyle is concerned is the issue of stress and stress management, because ladies today are no longer sitting at home and waiting for the men. They have to go out and look for the money as well. And then they come home and they still have to manage the house. And they get into, and then they also married, they have stress with their kids, with their spouses. And this then pushes them to start getting into lifestyle things like smoking, taking alcohol, in the quest to be sane, to deal with the stress that they're faced with. But stress is one of the main causes of diabetes. And really, truly, this is an area that needs to be managed. You need to consciously and intentionally take time to rest, take time to relax, take time to tone it down, to listen to some music, to have what I call me time, spend time with yourself. listen to some music, get into a yoga class, or go to church, meditate, and really tone down your life and get some space where you actually relax. I'll be mentioning about a few interventions that you can also use to just relax your body, and make sure that you don't get too stressed up. Because when you get stressed up, then the incidence of diabetes is that much higher. So that's one thing, lifestyle. Then the other thing that I talked about is diet.
Yeah.
What are you putting on your table? What are you putting on your plate? According to
Mm.
WHO, 75% of the food on your plate should be whole grain. That is grains. You should eat grains in their whole stature, not the ones where the germ and the husk has been removed, because the germ in the maize has oils that help your cells to function properly, and that enables nutrition to happen. It enables you to be very energetic and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then to be eating at least 9 different types of fruits and vegetables daily, different colored fruits and vegetables daily. I know it is tough, but we should aim to eat the 9 different colored. And the way you know that they are different is when the colors are different. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are all important for your body. Then you need to minimize on the red meat, because red meat puts a strain on your digestive system. One of the main causes of diabetes, especially in the Kenyan setup, is nyama choma, the old nyama choma over the weekend that we love to chew. And then you find that throughout the week, you're still eating a lot of red meat. Red meat has a lot of uric acid, a lot of antibiotics. It has a lot of negative things that actually come with it. And then it also makes you obese. It increases on your weight, and that can be a cause for diabetes as well. It gives you a lot of visceral fat, which is not good for your body. In some cases, it clogs up your arteries with cholesterol, and you're getting high blood pressure. And as you know, they call pressure and diabetes are the two sisters, because one like attracts the other. Yeah. So red meat, you're supposed to eat a quarter kilo amongst 12 men, and you do it maximum 3 times a week. I know that is
I am
scary.
laughing
Oh,
because we are Kenyans. And for those who are listening with us today,
sorry,
must
Lucy, I can't hear you very well.
I'm saying we are Kenyans.
Oh, we are
We are
Kenyans.
Kenyans. And
We love our meat.
can you imagine you're telling us quarter kilo amongst how many men?
12.
Wow. Wow.
That's exciting. But
Yes.
on the flip side, white meat, you're supposed to eat a lot of white meat, but not the kind of white meat that our ladies are eating, because our ladies love their chicken, their broiler chicken, the one they get at the fast food place. If it is your
Yeah.
chicken, you have to chase it yourself and strangle it yourself. It has to be a road runner. It cannot be the one that's pinned in a fast food place and you eat it. If you're eating the one that is spinning on a fast food place, it is putting
Yes.
too many hormones in your body. It will lead to obesity, and also it will also lead to so many other complications, including cancer. So white meat should actually be from the roadrunner, not the broiler chicken. And fish.
Wow. 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 Oh, Fred, you are trying to change our entire lives. The way you're suggesting that we should be doing, thinking about the nyama choma, and we are mostly Kenyans here who are tuned in. And this is what we eat over the weekend. This is what we do during the week. Because how else then do you know that I have arrived? There needs to be meat on my plate. And when there are visitors coming over, there's meat on my plate. But I hear you clearly that we need to limit the red meat intake. At least let's start slowly and begin to slowly take on the whole grains as you're speaking. Or suggesting that we should do. You talk about the diet of that we have on our plates and how colorful it should be. We need to get creative about these colors. But where I want to come to is the convenience of the life in our city today, Fred. All I have to do is book on my phone a meal, and the rider brings it. And usually that meal is that chicken you're talking about, which has been rolling. It is that nyama choma you're talking about. It is the French fries, which is just one color. And you've told us to go colorful. I guess I'm going to remember it by saying rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. Well, so we're talking about diet. Please go ahead.
Fantastic. So, and another thing, just to burst the bubble, chips, we need to eat less of that, very little of that as well. And I know where these are concerned, that's a very sensitive topic. I always get into trouble with my wife and the girls in the house. When I say no chips, I'm in trouble all the time. So, but we need to reduce on that. We need to reduce on chips. We need to reduce on the sugar. A teaspoon of sugar per day, a teaspoon of oil in a day is enough. When you take too much oil, too much blue band, all these things, they actually contribute to too much fat in our body and eventually can lead to diabetes. Sugar is notorious. Sugar is terrible. Sugar creates a convenient environment in your body for so many other diseases, not just diabetes. But diabetes is a key because what causes diabetes is too much sugar being pumped into the system. Then it goes hyper, then it goes hypo, and you keep doing that every day. You are taking your juice, you give your child juice, like a small juice for 10 shillings to go with to school, with some cake in a dish, and that kid goes and pumps sugar in his system. You buy him sweets, lollipops. I mean, if you look at the diet you're giving our children, it's terrible, and even ourselves, what you are eating. Then you get thirsty, you take a bottle of Coca-Cola. I have nothing against soda. Soda is good, but take it in moderation. Don't take it every day. Don't take it like some people will take it in the morning, in the evening. Whenever you feel thirsty, you take it. It has too much sugar in it, and that sugar can actually contribute to diabetes. So it is important to be intentional as far as your diet is concerned and really turn the pyramid the right way up. Eat the right way. But like you said, Lucy, rightfully so, in this day and age, with the kind of life that we all live in, it is not very easy to maintain such a diet. And what other recourse is there for you? Now, the recourse that is available for us is what came up in the developed world some time back, because they were in the same situation whereby diabetes was off the hook and people are falling sick and so many lifestyle diseases. And they went back and did some research. That was in 1930. And they said, okay, what is lacking in our diet? And they isolated the nutrients that were lacking in the diet. And they said, okay, so how do we deliver this to the society that is eating pizza and burger and chicken and ice cream, all the nice things, and they are not willing to change that, to go back to the traditional way of eating. So they came up with what they call the food industry, which is actually the food supplements industry. And they took the nutrients and they put it in capsules. And today in the developed world, they do more of food supplements than anything else. You'll find somebody taking their three-course meal is a burger, a pizza, ice cream. That's a three-course meal. But then next he has a serviette of supplements that he knows this is what is lacking from this food. So he has zinc, he has fiber, he has something else. So he finishes eating his meal and then swallows the nutrients. So you find that their life expectancy in America is over 75 years of age. In Japan, it's more. In China, it's almost 3 digits life expectancy. I mean, they live long. They live long because they start supplementing from birth. But for Kenyans and for Africans, I think we are too intelligent. We stopped doing what our parents were doing because when we were kids, we were given cod liver oil. I don't know whether you are given that one, Lucy.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if you fell sick, you are given good morning. You remember good morning?
Yes. Yeah, the lung
And
tonic. Oh, yes.
if you look at the ingredients of good morning, is cloves, honey, ginger. I mean, there is no medicine in there. It's actually turmeric. It's actually a supplement. The cod liver oil,
Yeah.
the seven seas. These are the things
Yes.
that we grew up. Our parents knew the importance of supplementation. But for us in this new generation, we don't really take care so much about the issue of supplementation. We tend to depend on the food, which we're not doing a very good job of. And like you rightfully pointed, we don't have the food at our disposal.
Yeah.
And that's what brings me to the company that I deal with. It's a food supplements company, Neolife International, and we give you nutrition in a bottle that even as you are eating your food, even as you want to avoid the lifestyle diseases, or if you already have diabetes, then you can get a supplement that will help you to alleviate that diabetes so that your body can be able to function properly. God gave us a
Yeah.
fantastic body, a body that
Yeah.
can heal itself if you give it the right food. But if you
Yeah.
don't give it the right food, then things go haywire. So the supplements come to help your body to heal itself.
What supplement is that, Fred? The supplement for diabetes that you have in your life? What name is it?
Okay, now we have a couple of supplements which are dedicated, which actually help in diabetes. One of the
Yes.
supplements is called 3NN. 3NN. I actually have a bottle here. I hope you can see it.
Yes,
It's called
yes, I
3NN.
can see that. 3NN. Uh-huh.
That is three in one. It is made from the oils in the germs of wheat, rice, and soya. Now, what this does is that it helps your cells to function properly so that nutrients can get in and waste can get out. It gives you a lot of energy. It
Yeah.
helps metabolism at cellular level. Um,
Yeah.
when the metabolism happens, if you have diabetes and you take trianen, then even the medicine that you're getting from the doctor will function better. I can give you a real life story of a lady that one of my customers in Nyeri. She
Yes.
was a principal. She had diabetes and it was always too high or too low. And I gave her trianen, just trianen by itself. And for the
Yes.
first time in more than 10 years, her diabetes was stable. So the doctor asked her, okay, what are you taking? And she shared with the doctor trianen. And the doctor ordered a bottle because he also had diabetes and it was off the hook. So
Look at that.
it's exciting. It's exciting the kind of products that we have. So trianen is number one. Then we have another product we call CoQ10. CoQ10. Now, CoQ10 is
CoQ10. Okay.
CoQ10. CoQ10 is still working at cellular level, but goes into the mitochondria. CoQ10 helps the cells to it's like the engine, like the spark plugs in the engine. They help the engine kuchoma. It produces the energy in the cell. And what CoQ10 does is that it helps all your internal organs to function at peak levels. We are talking about your brain, your kidney, your lungs, your heart, your the vital organs that you have in your body. But in this case, we are specifically talking about the pancreas, because the pancreas is the one that produces the insulin. And many a times it malfunctions, and that's why you find that you're not able to actually digest the sugar. So if you
Yeah.
take the CoQ10, if you take the trianen and the CoQ10, then that
Yes.
cell is not able to metabolize properly. Because the pancreas is made of cells, the cells in the pancreas will start functioning properly, and
Yes.
your pancreas will start producing insulin the way it is supposed to produce insulin. So that's a
Yeah.
second product that is so critical for people with diabetes. Now, the
Yeah.
third one is called zinc. Zinc. chelated zinc. Zinc is critical. Now, when you inject yourself with insulin, more than 80% of that jab is actually zinc, but it's a synthetic form of zinc. What we give you is natural. It's a natural form of zinc, and it gives the body the nutrients it requires. It gives the pancreas the raw materials to actually now start producing insulin and doing the work that it's supposed to do. So zinc is extremely, extremely important. Another product that I recommend and that we give is fiber tablets. Now, fiber tablets. Fiber sieves 80% of sugar from blood. It sieves 80% of sugar from blood. Most dietitians will tell you if you have diabetes to eat the browns, to eat the whole grain cereal, the whole grain cereals, Weetabix, whole grain, because what they are trying to do is to sieve the sugar from blood. So when you sieve it out through roughage and fiber, then you find that you're able to balance it, and that gives the body an easier time and protects the vital organs from the excess glucose in the system. So fiber tablets are extremely important for helping to manage the sugar levels in the body. Yeah. Now, last but not least, is a product we call Botanical Balance. Botanical Balance is made from your curcumin, your ginger. It is made from turmeric. The good things that are available in our kitchens that we may not be using too much of. And what that product does is that it balances the glucose levels in your body. That's the main focus of Botanical Balance. And that means that in your kitchen, you need to start taking these herbs. You need to get in some turmeric. You need to get in some curcumin. You need to get some ginger in. Get some garlic in. Start cooking with these spices or making a concoction, a smooth them. And they will actually help your body. They will lower inflammation in your body, and they will actually help you to deal with diabetes. And last but not least, you need to take care of your weight. Weight is notorious. Weight is one of the main causes of diabetes, and we do have a fantastic weight loss program that actually helps your body to burn fat naturally. That will probably be a topic for another day, but you need to manage your weight so that you can be able to shed off those kilos, remove the strain on your heart, and manage your BMI, and that will help you to keep your sugar levels in check. Now, lastly, one thing that I mentioned for the ladies, especially on weight and on the issue of weight, is family planning. Most of the family planning drives affect women differently. Some women gain a lot of weight, some women lose a lot of weight. It is dangerous to be overweight or the family planning that you're using, you need to have a look at it and evaluate. Maybe you need to experiment with the natural. I know it's a bit dangerous, but it can have results.
But it's something that we need to be aware of, that family planning also contributes to diabetes. Thank you so much, Fred. You've given us 5 ways that we can manage our diabetes. You've got TRINN, you've got CoQ10, you've got zinc, you've got fiber tablets, you've got Botanical Balance, and you encourage us to be cognizant of our weight and therefore be able to balance that weight for a healthy life. As mentioned in the first statistics, where we said that WHO says that the prevalence of diabetes in Kenya is at 3.3%, and that by 2025 it's going to grow to 44.5%, I beg your pardon. And all this is because of unawareness. So here on Tuesday Talks at 3, we have brought you Fred, who is a health coach who has shared with us, and I'm sure that when we meet next week, he will have more for us when we're talking about blood sugar. As he said, that is a sister of diabetes. Well, the 3 takeaways that we have seen today are: ensure that your lifestyle is on point. that you know what you're doing. Bring in food supplements. We know the convenience of life. It's so beautiful to have all motorbikes coming to us, or this place we can drive through to buy food. But remember to have your concoction or food supplements. You can always contact Fred to get that concoction together. The next one is me time, my favorite topic. So here he encourages us to sleep, you know, ensure that we're able to do exercises like yoga, walk. Make sure you're taking care of your body, your physical body. And last but not least is diet. And I know that is going to go down a bit hard with us, but think about your plate being colors of the rainbow. Think about your plate having the white meat, and white meat being fish as opposed to red meat. You can always start in moderation and breaking it down. Thank you so much for joining us today, Fred. I'm going to see you next week when we talk about managing blood sugar. Guys, we have talked about diabetes. You do not want to miss our next week's episode, Managing Your Blood Sugar. The recording of this episode is going up onto our YouTube, and it will be up by this evening. Remember, when you are there, to hit the subscribe button. Get us to 500 subscribers. That's the game. Otherwise, follow us on IG, follow us on Facebook and on TikTok. Visit our website for more information. Let us help to build each other when it comes to matters health. Until then, be kind to yourselves. Bye-bye now.
Goodbye.